All right, last time we talked about square roots. Now we're going to talk about cube roots. So maybe you remember that if you have 2 to the third power, you can also call that 2 cubed. Another way, just like we say 2 squared for a power of 2, when there's a power of 3, we call it cubed. Okay, so 2 cubed just means what in the world is 2 times 2 times 2? Okay, 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 times 2 is 8. So we remember cube roots, right? Or cubes. Just taking that number and multiplying it 3 times. So what if I had 9 cubed? Well, that would be whatever 9 times 9 times 9 is. 9 times 9 is 81, right? And what's 81 times 9? That is 729. I didn't know that. I just didn't know my calculator, right? But we could figure it out. It's multiplication. So just like a square root was the opposite of squaring a number, a cube root is the opposite of cubing a number. So if this is the cube root of 8, it means what number can I multiply 3 times to get 8? Well, I already know. It's 2 times 2 times 2, right? 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. So the cube root of 8 is just 2. You're going the opposite way. So what number times itself 3 times gives me 8? What about here? What number times itself 3 times gives me 27? I'm just going to try 3. Does that work? 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. Yes. So the cube root, we have to make sure to put that little 3 there. The cube root of 27 is just 3. When there's no number on the radical, this is called the radical. It's just, it means square root. And then you can start taking cube roots, 4th roots, 5th roots, and there's always a number there. So this is called, this is actually some vocabulary. This is called a radical. And then the number inside, like say it's 5, that is called the radicand. If you ever see those vocabulary words. Okay, just like we had to solve some problems with square roots in it, can we solve problems that have cube roots in them? Okay, so here it says the cube root of x equals 5. I need to solve for x. I need to get x by itself. That means I need to get this cube root out of here. I need to get it out of here. So to get that out of here, I have to perform the inverse operation. So what is the opposite of taking the cube root? The opposite of taking a cube root is to actually cube it. Now this cube cancels out with the cube root, and all that's left over here is x. And I can do that thing that I showed you before. What we have is this. This is really what we've done. And because we have 3 of those, it just comes out to x. That's what happened here. Or you can just believe me that the inverse operation of cubing is a cube root. So then we get x equals whatever in the world 5 to the 3rd power is. So I can figure that out. 5 times 5 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25, and 25 times 5 is 125. So x equals 125. That's my answer. That makes sense because if I plug in 125 here, I take the cube root of it, I would get 5. All right, what about when x cubed equals 1,000? So this is saying what number times itself 3 times gives me 1,000. So I could think about that, or I can use my inverse operations. So what is the opposite of cubing a number or raising it to the 3rd power? Well, it's taking the cube root of it. And whatever we do to one side, we got to do to the other. So this cube root and this cube cancel out, so all you have is x over here. And then what number times itself gives me 1,000? I'm betting it's 10. 10 times 10 is 100. 100 times 10 is 1,000. So yes, my solution is x equals 10. All right, same thing. X cubed equals 8 over 64. Okay, so I want to get rid of this cubed, so x is by itself. So let's take the cube root of it, because that is the inverse operation. Whatever I do to one side, I've got to do to the other. So all this cube root and cube stuff goes away. Now I have x, and then I have this thing. So remember, if I have a fraction, I can split it up like this so it's easier to work with. 64 is the number I'm trying to write. All right, cube root of 8, I know that. I did it up here. The cube root of 8 is 2. So x equals 2 over. Well, what's the cube root of 64? Is there a number that I can multiply 3 times to get 64? 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4, is that 64? 16 times 4? Yes, it is, right? So this bottom number comes out to be 4. So my answer is x equals 2/4, which I know is the same as x equals 1/2. Okay, so that's how you solve problems with cube roots or powers of 3. Next time I'll see ya. Bye.